Today we are going to talk about these topics. Number 1. Financial education can pay dividends for youth. Number 2. Finance general overview. Number 3. Mortgage loans. Obtaining mortgage loans depends on FICO scores. Number 4. Earn while you shop. Find the right reward program for you. Number 5. Study shows Americans need to get financially fit. Number 6. Profiting from a personal finance checkup. Number 7. Realtors save gas while you drive. Number 1. According to statistics from the National Council on Economic Education, only 7 states require high school students to take a personal finance course, while 8 others require courses with personal finance content. This was from a 2004 survey that also showed only 9 states test personal finance knowledge. These numbers are beginning to change as the state of Missouri joins the fray and will require 1/2 unit of credit in personal finance instruction for graduation in 2010. A 2004 national survey by the Jump Dollar Tart Coalition for Personal Financial Literacy measured 12th graders' knowledge of basic personal finance. On average, students who participated in the survey answered correctly only 52.3% of the questions, an F in most high school classrooms. Financial illiteracy isn't a problem limited to students. Half of U.S. adults received a failing grade for their knowledge of basic economic concepts, according to the NC. But there is hope in education. The National Endowment for Financial Education has confirmed that as few as 10 hours of classroom instruction can improve spending and saving habits. Because financial literacy is fundamental to personal success and a benefit to society, American Century provides support for financial education. In cooperation with a premier education consultant, the investment manager developed Tips for Kids and Tips for Life, curricula for use in the classroom. To date, these programs have been used by more than 3,000 educators in all 50 states. The free programs are delivered via the internet to educators and are presented to education conferences to help users implement the programs in their schools. American Century's efforts to improve financial literacy extend beyond the Tips for Kids and Tips for Life programs. Free educational materials and tools are available on its website. And the information presented in American Century founder James E. Storr's Yes You Can book series is designed to share the personal experiences and ideas that helped him become successful. Educating today's students on basic financial principles will pay dividends in the future because they are tomorrow's social, political and economic leaders. Number 2. Finance is a generally applied term for more than a couple of things. The term finance applies to the commercial activity of providing funds and capital. Also, it is that branch of economics that studies the management of money and other assets. If one were to round up the different definitions into one, finance can be defined as the management of funds and capitals required by a business activity. Management of finance. Management of finance has developed into a specialized branch within management since long ago. Managing finance involves dealing with optimizing allocation of funds to various activities either by borrowing or by mobilizing from internal resources. The word optimizing in finance may strike an odd note, but it means taking intelligently structured steps at minimizing the cost of financing while simultaneously attempting to maximize the profits out of the employed finance. Finance governs most of the activities. A poor finance management will immediately show as deteriorating conditions in the procurement, production and sales as it touches all spheres of business activities. For this reason, a finance manager is expected to be very judicious in either mobilizing funds or allocating for expenses. Lee Iacocca, the most revered management guru, calls finance managers as bean counters who look at the expense part with rather pessimistic view. Unlike the sales managers, who would like to invest in future by product development, finance managers are rather skeptic of financing a project whose benefits lie in the future. Finance management governs the future outcome too. Finance in small business. For most small business owners there is not a clear distinction between personal finance and business finance, often leading to cross-utility of funds. Lenders, either future or present, don't look at this with a soft corner. But resisting the tendency for such utilities may dampen one's zeal temporarily but sure brings the much-needed discipline which is the foundation of all future progresses. Financing a business can often be perilous if not approached with caution. Although bad management is commonly given as the reason businesses fail, inadequate or ill-timed financing comes a very close second. Whether you're starting a business or expanding one, sufficient ready capital is essential. But it is not enough to simply have sufficient financing. Knowledge and planning are required to manage it well. These qualities ensure that you will avoid common mistakes like securing the wrong type of financing, miscalculating the amount required, or underestimating the cost of borrowing money. Small businesses can finance their needs from either internal resources, friends, or from banks and private lenders. The less you finance from outside lenders, the more it ignites the profitability. This is why, perhaps, Bob Hope famously said, "A bank is a place that will lend you money if you can prove that you don't need it." Number 3. FICO scores were developed by Fairlsec Corporation. Fairlsec is a leader in the credit management arena. Their development has become an industry standard for determining an individual's creditworthiness. The score is determined by payment history, credit history, which includes how many credit inquiries have been made on you over a period of time, how much credit you have actually used, and what kind of credit you are using. The score grades your history. It provides a snapshot of how you make your payments. If you make your payments timely, you will have a low credit risk score. The FICO score shows on credit reports. If your score is lower than 500, you pay a premium to obtain a mortgage. If your score is above 700, you can obtain better interest rates. Ways to increase your score are: 1. Pay your bills on time. Late payments reflect negatively on your score. 2. Pay your medical bills. If your account is turned over to a collection agency, this will have a negative impact on your score. 3. Pay your school loans. In addition to reflecting negatively on your score, the government will fine you and force you to pay this obligation. 4. Since the number of inquiries impacts your score, less is better. The assumption is that more inquiries indicate you have been turned down for credit. You can obtain your credit report yearly from each of the 3 major credit reporting agencies. Federal law makes this possible. The report will lay out your credit history for you to review. Correct all errors. When you find an error, notify the creditor and all 3 reporting agencies. The credit must send a letter for the mistake to be rectified. You need to stay on top of this process. Finding adverse credit issues when you actually need to obtain credit will hinder your ability to obtain financing. Mortgage lenders look for at least 3 open credit accounts older than a year. Maintaining long-term accounts will help you immensely. Pay your bills on time. Pay high credit card debt and pay off interest loans first. Don't use your credit card to its limit. You can seek a pre-qualified loan for a mortgage before you seek housing. This process is usually verbal and often free of charge. Once you have a pre-approved mortgage, you can complete an application easily. This is a legal loan agreement which should expedite the closing on your home. Of the 2, pre-approval and pre-qualified, the best is pre-approved. This approval gives you an idea of your buying power and determines what you can actually afford. Your real estate agent can guide you in the right direction to start your process of applying for loans. Number 4. Point-based reward programs are proliferating. You can earn enough miles to fly to Paris just by using your credit card, or you can accumulate points that can be spent like cash merely by shopping at your favorite stores. But with so many options available, how do you know you're getting the biggest bang for your buck? The following tips will help ensure that you pick the right program for your needs. Know your lifestyle. Choose a reward program that fits your priorities and lifestyle. If you travel a lot, try Air Mile travel reward programs. Like if you like outdoor activities, look for a credit card like the Cabela's Club Visa. Found it you can earn points, in the store and online, that can be redeemed for all types of hunting, fishing and camping gear. Reap your rewards. Select a reward program that doesn't add an expiration date to your hard-earned points. If it does, make sure you know the date and use the points before you lose them. Look for flexible rewards. Avoid choosing reward programs that tie you into redeeming points only at specific vendors. Look for more flexible options like Freestyle Rewards, found online that it lets you build points by shopping online at more than 175 participating merchants. You redeem your points for a debit card that can be used anywhere MasterCard is accepted, online or offline. Click in Save. Select online shopping reward programs that provide gateway access to your most frequently visited stores. You'll find everything you need, save money while you shop and build points as you go. Share the wealth. How would you like to make point donations to family, friends or charities? Select a reward program that allows you to do so. Compare. Just like you would compare merchandise prices, Compare point-based reward programs by considering what's important to you and determining which ones will fit your needs. Number 5. Most Americans lack basic understanding when it comes to their credit score and personal finance, according to the results of a survey by consumer advocacy group Consumer Action and financial services provider Capital One. The survey polled 1,002 American adults. It gauged respondents' knowledge of the basics of personal finance like budgeting, saving habits and credit principles. More than one-third reported they do not use a budget to manage their family's expenses. Over 30% of those surveyed either did not know or responded incorrectly when asked to define a good credit score. And nearly one-fourth have never reviewed their credit report. Given the growing importance and influence of credit scores on purchasing decisions, it's startling that the majority of Americans do not understand what constitutes a good credit score, said Ken McEldowney, Executive Director of Consumer Action. Various factors are used to determine a credit score, including a consumer's payment history, the amount of debt currently owed and the length of credit history. An amendment to the Federal Fair and Accurate Credit Transactions Act passed in 2004 now allows consumers to receive one free credit report every year from each of the 3 major credit reporting agencies. Consumers can request their reports online as easy as it is to check your credit score and credit report. Many still neglect to take this simple step to protect their credit and their finances, said Diana Dawn Colby, Director of Financial Education at Capital One. Besides reviewing your credit report, experts agree education is the key to a healthy financial future. To help consumers understand the basics, Capital One and Consumer Action created the Money We Dollary financial education program. The Money We Dollary program includes free, multilingual brochures on personal finance topics, such as improving and rebuilding credit, budgeting, saving and investing. Number 6. Making sure that you're on the road to financial security can start with a personal finance checkup. A financial checkup allows you to periodically review how you're doing in light of your finance goals. Taking the following steps can help put you on the course to financial wellness. Evaluate your goals. How are you measuring up to the goals you set for yourself? Are you successfully putting money towards saving and investing? Are you saving enough in your 401 to get your company match contribution? Where are you falling short and why? Are there changes taking place in your life that will affect these goals, such as a healthy bump in your salary or the birth of a baby? For better or worse, it may be time to adjust your goals. Assess your investments. Look at the return on each of your investments and make sure they are rebalanced. Are you satisfied with the performance compared to what the market is doing? Consider getting some advice. You can also find free investment advice tools online, such as Shari Builder's Portfolio Builder. The service provides a customized portfolio based on your budget, investing goals and risk tolerance. Set your investments on autopilot. Regular investing is a key to reaching your goals. If you're serious about a saving and investing strategy, but find it is the last thing on your mind every month, start an automatic investing plan. You don't need a big lump sum to get the ball rolling. Services such as Shari Builder have no account minimum and allow you to set up a program and contribute a set amount of money, such as $100 per month, on a regular basis. The money will be automatically transferred from your checking or savings account so it can be invested. Just do it. People often hesitate or postpone their investments because they don't think they have enough to start or it's just not the right time to invest. In reality, it's always a good time to start investing. The first step is to develop a long-term saving and investing habit as early as possible. The value of compounding over time is irreplaceable. Once you get started, it's a good idea to review your investments at least every 6 months. Number 7. We're all desperate to save money on gas these days. We shop for the lowest prices, follow the news, combine trips, walk more. But for many of us, especially realtors, dealing with the gas crunch is unavoidable. Not every house you sell is going to be in your neighborhood. Not every house a client wants to see is down the street. They want the city, they want the suburbs, they want to see that charmer in a neighboring town. So if you're a realtor that wants to sell houses, you do what you have to do, you drive. Fortunately, there are 4 simple ways to make your gas go farther while you motor around. 4 simple ways to save gas while you drive. 1. The single best way to save money on gas is so simple you probably haven't even considered it. It's this: Slow down. Slowing down and driving the speed limit is the most effective way to get maximum fuel efficiency from your traveling tin can. It simply takes more energy to travel at a higher speed. Increased wind resistance and inefficient fuel consumption are two ways that speed eats into your gas tank. The additional wear and tear on your car also eats into your pocketbook. So if you don't want your car to be an obnoxious gas guzzler, just drive the speed limit. You might get flack from drivers that want to speed like they're on the Autobahn, but you'll save on gas and avoid flack from police cruisers, speed traps and your mom. 2. Keep it steady. While you're at it, you might also try to keep going at a constant speed as much as you can. Keeping it smooth, or even better, keeping it on cruise control will save you big bucks on flat terrain. The old hurry up and wait, accelerate brake combo takes a lot of energy and will cost you in the long run. Look well ahead when you're driving and prepare to slow down in advance. The gradual reduction in speed paired with a gradual increase will use less fuel. Gunning it on green lights is not fuel efficient. 3. Get a tune-up and keep your tires inflated. Spark plugs that don't spark, filters that don't filter, and sensors with no sense will lower your gas mileage. Have your car tuned up regularly and check your tires while you're at it. Poorly inflated tires need more push from the engine to get where they're going. A little air goes a long way. 4. Choose the path of least resistance. Depending on where you live, you may not be able to avoid bumpy winding roads, but if you can, you should. You can lose up to 30% of your gas mileage on a gravel road, and even more if it's one of those beautifully scenic winding ones that require lots of turns and gas pedal brake pedal maneuvers. Save these for vacations and take the highway. Of course, if you're a really serious driver these days, you're probably thinking about switching to a hybrid, the next logical step for people who simply can't part with their cars. While you're shopping around for the right one, however, you might want to do it slowly.